So this is a Lunar Clubman SE, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got the jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake, and the ATC. We'll take you through this in person here on site. In the front locker, on the bulkhead, you've got your gas regulator. We do have the gas pipe work available should you need it, and it is available at a price of £15 from either our shop or the guys in our workshop. On the side of the caravan you have your Aldi heating and hot water flue. This is the same as what you have on the side of your house for your heating and hot water systems, so we do not advise covering this up at all, especially when it is being used or leaning anything against it, as it does get hot while it is being used. On each corner of the caravan at the front you have your wind down legs to stabilise the van. They are just there for stabilising. You wouldn't lift the caravan with these legs. You then have your water pump connection. The water pump connection is very simple to use. The pump itself drops down inside the ack roll, as you can see just here. And then on the back of the pump you have a blue trigger that you can pull back to release it. You can pull the pump out, and to fit it you pull the trigger back and push it into the side of the caravan. You then have your battery box. You can put your leisure battery into there with your connections on top for the positive and negative. A 12mm spanner will tighten the nuts. You then have your mains power lead, which comes from the power source on site, and also in that locker you have your motor mover power switch, which we will demonstrate while you're here on site also. You then have your two fridge vents. The two fridge vents are simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Again, we don't advise you cover these because behind one of them there is also a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. The motor mover and wheel nuts will actually torque the wheel nuts while you're here on site, and we'll demonstrate the motor mover so you can see that is working as it should. The fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan, once it's been through the sinks and the shower, has to come out somewhere, and that's what these two grey pipes here on the side of the van. You'd have two bits of grey pipe that go into these larger diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside your Wastemaster. On the back of the caravan you have your toilet flush tank. Now, this tank here will take 3.5 litres of water and a capful of the pink fluid prior to use, and that is essentially for the toilet flush. Below that you have your toilet waste cassette, which are released by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away, and on the back of this cassette there is an orange pressure relief button, so when you are tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and sputter back at you. On the back of the caravan, on either side again, you have your wind down legs to stabilise the van, but like I said, they are only there for stabilising and not lifting the van. On the door side of the caravan, you've got your underbed storage locker for the bed on the bed at the back of the van, so you can access that from underneath the bed inside or on the outside of the van here. At the front of the caravan, you've got your wet storage locker. So the wet storage locker is essentially there, so if you've got any wet bits and pieces you can put them in there so you're not having to take them in the van. You then have your barbecue gas point at the front, and also your 3-pin socket so you can have power coming out to your awning. Going on to the inside of the caravan now, which is a very simple to use caravan. On the left hand side as you come in, when the screen clears up, there we go, you have your master power switch top right hand side. You have your voltmeter at the top for the power going into the battery on board the van, your external awning light on the left hand side, and your internal light. We then have the water pump run, which I'm going to come back to in 2 moments. So first thing we're going to do is, before we try and fill the water system, as you can see the ack roll's already connected on the outside, you're going to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. So you'll open the tap in the kitchen, the tap in the bathroom, and also the shower tap. Now as you can see, I've already filled the system, hence why there's water just flowing through the tap a little bit at the moment. But before you fill the system, you're going to need to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan. And underneath here, you will find a yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve needs to be parallel with the floor before you fill the water system up. So that's the position it's in now. If that valve is upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, all of the water on the system from the system inside of the caravan will drain straight back out the bottom when you turn the water pump on. We do advise after each use of the caravan that you get into a habit of draining the caravan down so there is no stagnant water inside the water system, and so during the winter months when it freezes, the water system doesn't freeze up and crack. So once you've got that valved up and you've got all the taps open on the hot side, you can come over to the control panel by the door, turn on your water pump, and then you'll get water flowing through the water system. Now when that water system is completely full and you've got water coming out of every tap on board the caravan continuously, as we have now, you can then shut all of the taps back off and you can start thinking about warming the water on board the system. So, below the main control panel, you will have noticed a silver control panel. Now this is for the Aldi heating and hot water. As you can see, that is turned on because the screen is live. To go into it, you need to press Store Reset. And on the top left hand side of the screen here, you have a flashing off. Now, anytime one of these symbols is flashing, it means you are in that, that you can adjust that option. So you've got the on off here at the top. To get the heating and hot water to work, you'll need to go on. So the on is flashing. You'll then use the right hand arrow to go across to the room temperature. So that is the flashing icon that we have flashing now, the thermometer. To control the room temperature, you've got plus or minus, depending on where you want your room temperature to be. As you can see, minus or plus. Goes all the way up to 30 degrees, and it is a proper 30 degrees, a bit like your household heating. So I'm going to turn that down for now. If we come across to the right again, with from the flashing thermometer symbol to the tap, you've got the option to turn the water on or off. So you've got water heating on and water heating off, depending on where you want to be with the water heating. So if the water heating is on, it will warm up at the moment on the electric side, and you do have the option to run gas as well. So if we come across to the right, again to the flame symbol, that is the option to turn your heating and water heating and heating for the caravan on or off the gas supply. Now at the moment there's no gas bottle on, so I'm going to leave it on off. But very simply, if you want to ignite it on gas, you'd turn the gas bottle on in the front locker, press the on button, and the gas system will ignite. If it fails, it will actually come up with gas fail on the screen. The next option to the right here is the amount of power you have coming into the caravan. Now this will control what the heating and hot water runs off. It does not control anything else on board the van. It is solely the heating and hot water system. So you have the option of 1 or 2 kilowatts of power coming into the van. So it will depend on what caravan site you're on to what you set this to. And if you ask the site office when you arrive on site, they'll be able to advise you of what you can run it on. So you've got off, 1 kilowatt and 2 kilowatts. In the top right hand corner, you'll see that there is a plug symbol. Now that plug symbol is indicating to us that there is mains power coming into the caravan. If we carried on coming over to the right of this control panel, we'll come up with an option down the bottom here where you can go into some advanced options. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. So that is your heating and hot water control panel. Next thing we go to is the fridge. The fridge, again, is very simple to use. You have an on-off button just here. So you've got power on. Let the screen load up. You can then control the power source you want to use by this button on the left-hand side. So at the moment, as you can see, we're on mains power, and we can control the temperature of the fridge on gas or mains on the button on the right-hand side. The next option we've got is 12 volt mode. Now, as you see, the blue light is flashing here, and it's come up with a warning symbol. A number and a spanner symbol, which is indicating to me we have no 12 volt supply going to the fridge. The reason for that is it's not the 12 volt supply from the caravan, it is the 12 volt supply from the car you are towing with. So it will only work on 12 volt when you are connected to the car and you have the correct power or the correct connection on your vehicle. Gas mode, again, you'd need to have the gas bottle turned on, and if it failed to ignite on gas, it would flash the blue pilot light just here when you're on the gas mode, and it'll bring up a 9 and a spanner symbol on the top right hand side of the screen. So essentially, when this blue light is solid, it is your pilot light for the fridge system on gas. Next up, we have the microwave, which works very much like your household microwave, no difference at all there. We then have the hob, grill and oven. Now on the hob you have got a 240 electric ring. Now that will only work when you're connected to mains power. Again, that will not work off a 12 volt supply. The rest of the hob, cooker and grill will work off the gas supply on the caravan, and you have an igniter on the front just here. Going into the bathroom, and the last part of the caravan we're going to go through is the toilet system. One of the things just to bear in mind, just a quick note for the video, the towel rail that's in the bathroom, they do hold heat for quite a while. So if you have young children here, or children, please do bear that in mind, that they do hold heat and they do get extremely hot. On the toilet system itself, you have a blue flush button. So when you press the button here, the toilet system will flush. You have a red indicator light on the left hand side of the toilet itself that illuminates red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat turns for your convenience. So the toilet seat here, as you can see, turns to any position you want it to be in. However, when you're trying to remove the cassette from under the van to empty the waste cassette, you do need to make sure the toilet is back in the central position, as it will not allow you to remove the cassette unless it is in that central position. The same with the grey waste handle below. If that grey waste handle is in this position, it will actually stop you from removing the cassette, but if it's back in the central position here, it will allow you to remove the cassette. So when that handle is across, the waste will go straight into the cassette, and when it is closed, obviously the waste will sit in the bowl. So we do advise you have that open when you are using the loo. If you have any further questions on the Lunar Clubman SE, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.